Autumn rain battered the windows of Roosevelt Elementary School with steady insistence. It was past 7 p.m. The halls that had buzzed with children hours earlier now lay in eerie silence, lit only by dim night-mode fluorescents casting long, uncertain shadows in the cramped attic above the third-grade classrooms. 12-year-old Marcus Thompson sat cross-legged on a nest of blankets he'd scavenged. Beside him, 7-year-old Emma was coloring carefully in a worn book by the narrow beam of a small flashlight. Dust motes drifted in the stale air, which smelled of old paper and forgotten holiday decorations. "Marcus," Emma whispered, voice tiny against the drumming rain. "When can we go home?" Marcus's chest tightened, the lie already forming. Before he could stop it, there was no home to return to. Their apartment had been condemned 3 days ago for a gas leak the landlord wouldn't fix. Their mother had vanished this time, leaving only an empty pill bottle and a note saying she needed time to figure things out. He swallowed. "Soon, Em." "Just a little longer," she nodded, satisfied in the way only children can be, and went back to her coloring. It was a picture of a house with a white fence, smoke curling from the chimney, a dog in the yard, the kind of home Marcus couldn't give her. He watched her carefully. Her clothes were dirty. Her hair was tangled, where he'd tried to braid it the day before. She was thin. He'd stolen crackers and juice from the cafeteria. He knew it wouldn't last long. They'd been living like this for a week, sleeping in the school attic each night, hiding until everyone left. Marcus knew the schedules. The principal left by 6:30. The janitor made one last round at 7 o'clock. He'd perfected the timing. "I'm hungry," Emma said, laying down her crayon. Marcus reached into their stash. The last packet of crackers, a juice box. He handed it over with forced cheer. "Here you go, Princess. Tomorrow I'll get us something better." She didn't complain. She never did. She just accepted it, biting slowly, carefully, even at 7. She had learned to adapt. Marcus opened his worn notebook, the one where he wrote everything down. The date their mom left, the note, what she'd taken. Clues, he told himself, maybe enough to find her someday. But the truth was he wasn't sure she was ever coming back. She'd disappeared before, only to return dazed, apologetic. But this time she'd taken the photo of their dad from her bedside table, the one she never left behind. This time felt final. He closed the notebook. Emma was watching him, her eyes too big, too knowing. "Tell me a story," she asked softly. Marcus swallowed his exhaustion. This was their ritual. His stories were the only thing that made the attic feel less like a tomb. "Sure," he said, forcing a smile. "How about the magic school tonight?" Emma nodded, eyes brightening a little. Marcus began, voice hushed but steady, weaving a tale of a school where kids could fly, where ice cream was served for breakfast, and where no one ever had to leave if they didn't want to. Her breathing evened out, slow and deep. Finally, asleep. Marcus brushed hair from her face, feeling the weight of the world press down on his 2 young shoulders. He wouldn't let them separate her from him. He wouldn't let her go into the system alone. That was the promise, even if it meant hiding in an attic forever. Rosa Martinez had been cleaning Roosevelt Elementary for 18 years. She knew every creak and shadow. She also knew when something felt wrong. That morning she arrived early to deal with the rain leak in the main hall. She noticed them almost immediately, small, muddy footprints trailing from the main entrance toward the third-grade stairwell. One set small, another larger. She frowned, heart sinking. No one should be here this early. She followed the trail to Mrs. Anderson's classroom, scanning carefully. The room smelled faintly of food, crackers. There was a used napkin in the trash that hadn't been there last night. Rosa looked up. Water damage spread across the ceiling tile, a hairline crack forming. She stood perfectly still and heard it, a soft scuffle, like someone shifting their weight above her head. Rosa's stomach twisted. She had found runaways before, kids hiding in bathroom stalls or behind shelves, but not living in the building. She went to the maintenance closet, grabbed the ladder, and climbed up carefully. The hatch creaked open. 2 children froze in the beam of her flashlight. The older boy immediately shifted in front of the girl. His eyes were fierce but frightened. The girl clutched a tattered stuffed bunny, half hidden behind him. please." The boy said hoarsely, "Don't call the police. We haven't broken anything. We just needed somewhere to stay." Rosa's heart ached. She took them in the neat piles of clothes, the empty food wrappers, the desperate attempt at normalcy in the middle of chaos. She lowered her voice. "Honey, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm Rosa. I work here. What are your names?" He hesitated, then drew a shaky breath. "Marcus. And this is Emma." "Marcus," Rosa said, crouching carefully so she wasn't towering over them. "Why are you here? Where's your mom?" His jaw worked. His voice cracked. She had to go away to get better." Rosa recognized the lie instantly. She'd heard it before from children trying to protect the dignity of a parent who'd failed them. "And your dad?" Marcus's eyes darkened. "Dead. 2 years ago. Accident at his job." Rosa felt tears sting her eyes. She kept her voice steady. "Marcus, you're a very brave brother, but this isn't safe. You can't live in an attic. Emma needs real food. A bed. You both need help. We don't want to be split up." Marcus whispered urgently, "Please, if you tell anyone, they'll take her away from me." Rosa saw the raw terror in his eyes, the terror of a child who had been forced to become a parent. Rosa held Marcus's gaze. "I hear you. I promise you. I'm not going to let them separate you. I swear it." He blinked, tears gathering despite himself. Emma clung to his arm, watching Rosa with wide, solemn eyes. "Emma, sweetheart," Rosa said gently. "Are you hungry?" Emma nodded slowly. Rosa reached into her pocket, pulling out a granola bar she always kept for emergencies. She handed it to Emma, who took it with both hands as if it were treasure. Marcus watched Rosa's every move. He looked so exhausted. His hair was mussed. His clothes were grimy but neatly arranged. He'd been trying so hard. Rosa placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "You're not in trouble. Neither of you. I'm going to help you. Both of you." Marcus lowered his eyes. His shoulders shook once. But he didn't argue. He didn't have the strength left. Rosa led them down carefully, Emma's small hand in hers. Marcus kept glancing around, alert for danger even as exhaustion pulled at him. They reached the principal's office before the first bell. Mr. Peterson, a kind man with tired eyes, was already there. Rosa had called ahead. "Come in," he said softly, voice stripped of all authority and replaced with empathy. "Sit down, kids." Emma clung to Marcus's side, her stuffed bunny between them like a shield. Mrs. Henderson, the school nurse, knelt in front of them. "Can I just take a look at you both? Make sure you're okay?" Marcus nodded slowly. Emma didn't resist as Mrs. Henderson gently checked her over. She was too tired to fight. "When was the last time you ate?" Mrs. Henderson asked. Marcus hesitated. "We had crackers last night." Rosa's heart broke a little more. "We'll fix that," the nurse said firmly. She picked up the phone. "Send up breakfast, eggs, toast, fruit, now." As they ate, Rosa and Mr. Peterson exchanged glances. Marcus watched them, suspicion clear. He was smart. He knew they were planning. Finally, Rosa spoke softly. "Marcus, we have to tell someone about what's happening, so we can get you both help." Marcus set down his fork. His fingers trembled. "If they take us," he said, voice raw, "they'll split us. She can't sleep without me. She has nightmares. She doesn't eat when she's scared. I promised I'd take care of her." Emma looked up at him, eyes wide. "I don't want to go without Marcus." Rosa took a breath. "I told you I wouldn't let them split you up, and I meant it. There are people who want brothers and sisters to stay together. We're going to find them." Marcus's mouth opened and closed. His eyes glistened, but he didn't argue. Ms. Williams, the school's social worker, arrived mid-morning. She had warm eyes and a gentle voice that put Emma at ease. She sat on the floor next to them, refusing to loom over the two frightened kids. "Hi, Marcus. Hi, Emma. I'm Patricia. Can I help you figure out what comes next?" Marcus eyed her warily. "We're not going anywhere unless she can come with me," he said immediately. Ms. Williams nodded. "That's fair. We're going to look for a family that wants both of you together." Emma clutched Marcus's arm. "Promise?" "Promise," Ms. Williams said solemnly. Marcus swallowed hard. He was still on guard, but something shifted in his posture. Rosa could see Marcus was struggling to believe them. She leaned forward. Marcus, can I tell you something? He nodded cautiously. When I was your age, my mom got very sick. My sister and I almost went into foster care. We were terrified we'd be separated. But there was a family that said they'd take both of us. They called us a package deal. Emma blinked. They made sure we stayed together until our mom got better. That's what we want for you too. We're going to find people like that for you. Marcus's lip trembled. His eyes locked on Rose's. He wanted to believe. By lunchtime, Marcus and Emma had eaten more than they had in days. Emma leaned against Marcus's side, half dozing, her hair finely brushed by Mrs. Henderson. Ms. Williams sat nearby, paperwork spread out. Marcus, I want you to know I'm calling families that take siblings together. That's my job, to make sure you're safe and together. Marcus watched her, eyes sharp. What if no one wants us both? Rosa reached over and squeezed his hand. There are people who will. You're not alone anymore. Marcus swallowed hard. His shoulders shook once, like he was trying to shake off years of fear. Emma stirred. Marcus, are we in trouble? No, sweetheart, Rosa said quickly. You did nothing wrong. You were so brave. And now people are going to help. Emma nodded. Still half asleep, okay. As long as Marcus comes to. Marcus's voice cracked. I'm not leaving her. Ms. Williams shook her head gently. You won't have to. She looked at them both. Do you want to stay here today while I make calls? You'll be safe here. No one will take you without talking to you first. Marcus hesitated, then nodded once. Rosa watched Emma return to her classroom for a bit, Mrs. Anderson hugging her tight, classmates pressing hand-drawn cards into her hands. Marcus watched. From the door, he didn't step inside. He just watched, guarded but relieved. She's smiling. Rosa whispered beside him. Marcus blinked fast. She hasn't done that in weeks. Rosa put an arm around his shoulder. That's why. We're doing this, so she can be a kid again. And so can you. That afternoon, Ms. Williams returned with a cautious smile. Marcus, Emma, there's a couple who foster siblings. They're experienced. They want to meet you both. Marcus stiffened. Do they know about us? Yes, Ms. Williams said. They know you've been taking care of Emma. They're impressed. They want you both. Emma perked up at that. Do they have a dog? Ms. Williams smiled. Actually, they do. A big, gentle dog named Max. They want you to meet him. Marcus's jaw worked. Can we talk to them first? Before anything? Of course, Ms. Williams said. They're coming here. David and Sarah Johnson arrived quietly, warm smiles and gentle voices. Hi, Marcus. Hi, Emma, Sarah said, sitting at eye level. We've heard a lot about how brave you both are. Emma peeked at them from behind Marcus. Do you really have a dog? David chuckled. Yes, Max loves kids. He's been waiting to meet you. Marcus watched them carefully. If she has nightmares, can I still sleep near her? Sarah's eyes softened. Absolutely. We want you both to feel safe, however you need. Marcus blinked, absorbing that. Marcus cleared his throat. What if our mom comes back? David and Sarah exchanged a look. Sarah answered carefully. Then we'll all talk about it. We won't keep you from her. But until she's ready, you need somewhere safe. Emma held Marcus's arm tighter. Ms. Williams added softly, your mom is getting help. That's good. But right now, you didn't need help too. Marcus's voice dropped. We don't want to be apart. David leaned forward. We only want you together. That's why we're here. Emma looked up at Marcus. Can we go meet Max? Marcus swallowed. He studied David and Sarah carefully. Their eyes were kind. They hadn't flinched at any question. He took a deep breath. Okay, we'll try. Sarah exhaled with relief. Thank you. We're going to do our very best for you both. Rosa smiled through tears. You're so brave. She whispered to Marcus. He didn't answer, but for the first time, he let Rosa hug him. 2 days later, the Johnsons picked them up. Emma had a new backpack, bright pink, filled with donated clothes. Marcus's was plain black, but it was new. Rosa helped them pack up their tiny attic nest, saying goodbye to the hidden space that had kept them alive. This isn't your home anymore, she told them softly, but you'll always have a place here. And with me. Emma cried when she hugged Rosa. You promised. Rosa hugged her tighter. And I'll always keep that promise. The Johnsons' house wasn't grand, but it felt like a palace. After the attic, Emma chose to share a room with Marcus at first. Her small bed pressed close to his. Max, the big old dog, slept between them, snoring softly. The first night, Emma woke screaming from a nightmare. Marcus bolted upright, arms around her instantly. Sarah was there in seconds too, sitting on the floor beside them, rubbing Emma's back. "It's okay, baby," Sarah whispered. "You're safe here. We're right here." Emma hiccuped, tears clinging to Marcus and Max both. Marcus watched Sarah carefully. She didn't get mad at Emma for crying. She didn't tell them to go back to sleep. She just stayed. They stayed at Roosevelt Elementary. Emma kept her teacher, Mrs. Anderson, who welcomed her with open arms and a new box of crayons. Marcus got quieter at first. He watched Emma on the playground every day, tense, waiting for something bad to happen. Rosa would find him leaning against the fence. "She's okay," Rosa would say softly. "You can go play too." Marcus would nod, but he wouldn't leave the fence. Not yet. But one day, Emma ran to him laughing, waving a new friend's hand. "Come play with us," she shouted. Marcus looked at Rosa. She nodded. And he went. David taught Marcus how to play chess. At first, Marcus sat stiffly, eyes flicking to Emma constantly. "She's safe," David would remind him. "Sarah's reading with her." Marcus would nod. "Move a piece." Weeks in, he was laughing when David stole his queen. He was trash-talking back, just a little. At bedtime, Emma would sometimes crawl into Marcus's bed, but more often now, she fell asleep in her own. Max sprawled protectively at her feet. Marcus still checked on her every night, but he slept longer, deeper. Ms. Williams kept them updated gently. Their mother had checked into rehab in Colorado. She was staying. She was trying. Marcus sat very still when he heard. Emma's eyes went wide. "Is she better now?" Emma asked. Ms. Williams hesitated. "She's trying to get better. That's a good first step." Marcus nodded slowly. He looked at David and Sarah. "If she wants to see us, will we have to go?" Sarah shook her head firmly. "Not unless it's safe, not unless it's right for you, and not without you saying yes." Marcus exhaled shakily. A month later, they tried a visit. Supervised, short. Their mother was thinner, older. She cried when she saw them. Emma clung to Marcus, watching. Marcus didn't move for a long time. Then he hugged her, stiffly. She whispered, "I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better." Marcus swallowed hard. Okay. It was awkward, painful, but it was a start. Back at the Johnsons' house that night, Emma asked, "Will we have to live with her again?" David shook his head. "Not until she's ready, and only if you want to." Emma looked at Marcus. "Do you want to?" Marcus took a long time to answer. "I want her to get better," he said finally. "But I don't want to leave here. I want us to stay." Emma nodded. "Me too." Weeks later, Sarah sat them both down. "We want you to know something. We love having you here. And if you want, we'd love to make it official, to adopt you both." Emma squealed and hugged Sarah tight. Marcus stared at them, heart pounding. "Even if our mom gets better someday?" David nodded. "Even then. You'll always have a home here. Always." Marcus's eyes filled. He whispered, "Okay." 3 months after leaving the attic, Roosevelt Elementary felt different. It wasn't a hiding place anymore. It was school. Emma skipped down the hall, waving her new library book. "Rosa, look. I can read this whole thing myself." Rosa smiled, catching Emma in a hug. "I'm so proud of you." Marcus walked behind them, calmer now, taller somehow. He carried a guitar case. "I'm learning Blackbird," he told Rosa shyly. She hugged him too. "You're amazing, Marcus. You always were." He flushed. "Thanks." As they left together for the Johnsons' car, Marcus reached down and took Emma's hand. She squeezed back, giggling. For the first time in too long, they didn't have to run. Rosa watched them go. Heart full, she remembered the attic, the fear in Marcus's eyes, the trust it had taken for him to let go. She remembered Emma's quiet, hungry voice asking for stories in the dark. And now they had light. They had family. She wiped a tear away, smiling. Sometimes, she thought, the hardest thing in the world was to see what was right in front of you. And sometimes, the most important thing you could do was simply choose to care.